Know your history, or be doomed to repeat it.
Hey friends, welcome back to Axial GT. Or if you should happen to be new here, consider subscribing and turn on notifications to know when I upload. And don't forget to smash that like button. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. With that out of the way, let's get started. So Kotaku published an article a few days ago, and let's just say I was shocked. Not for what the article was about, it was the fact that they covered it at all. Kotaku has a select few good articles, but for the most part, I usually wind up using it for a toilet paper substitute, especially during the recent idiotic toilet paper shortage. They published this article. Call of Duty trailer replaced worldwide over Tiananmen Square footage. In the article, it states, and I quote, "The debut trailer for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War has been blocked in China, and subsequently edited everywhere else, after featuring around a second's worth of footage from the communist government's crackdown on pro-democracy protesters in 1989. For those who don't know about the Tiananmen Square incident, that is more accurately described as a massacre, here's a simple and short recap. Students around the People's Republic of China were demonstrating for democracy. It was also known as the '89 Democracy Movement, and the People's Liberation Army crushed it. That's right, literally crushed it. Hundreds if not thousands died. And this was happening all over mainland China. Tiananmen Square just received a lion's share of the coverage because that's where the international media was located. Now the goals they were trying to achieve were extremely admirable. Ending of corruption, freedom of the press, the institution of basic human rights, and yes, freedom of speech. So that's the simplified version. Now we all remember Blitzchung and Blizzard stepping in a pile of you-know-what, more or less advocating for the Chinese government, or CCP, in censoring and crushing the people's rights of freedom of speech and expression. Blizzard President J. Allen Brack even got on stage at BlizzCon and apologized after a huge amounts of backlash. So I'll ask you, did anyone learn from this? Well, I'm thinking not. Here we have the flip side of Activision Blizzard doing the same thing. This time Activision being the guilty party. The new trailer for Call of Duty Cold War was released, and suffice it to say, has been met with a little bit of controversy. Okay, a lot of controversy. Then after its release, edited a few days later for content, removing the references from the Tiananmen Square incident, undoubtedly doing so for their Chinese overlords. And it has to be said that Tencent owns 5% of Activision, which in a roundabout way, Tencent is a long arm of the CCP. And who would have thought that only owning 5% of a company had so much power? But I digress. Now if they wanted to release two trailers, one for the China region and the other for the rest of the world, while not liking the idea, I could go for that. But Activision didn't do that. They edited and replaced the trailer worldwide, a subject noted in the Kotaku article, so it more or less subjects the world to the CCP censorship. While this might be a crude analogy, but it is fitting. The CCP tries to force its way of life up the backside of the free world, and companies like Activision and Bobby Kotick are holding the CCP phallus and guiding it along its way. Now it doesn't matter what political affiliation you believe in or side with, freedom of speech and expression is a mainstay of human rights. I think Edward Norton says it best.
At the heart of the First Amendment is the recognition of the fundamental importance of the free flow of ideas. Freedom to speak one's mind is not only an aspect of individual liberty, but essential to the quest for truth and the vitality of society as a whole. In the world of debate about public affairs, many things done with motives that are less than admirable are nonetheless protected by the First Amendment.
That's right, even what may be considered unpopular is also protected. And things that are considered unpopular is actually a matter of taste and not subject to law. Even with the political strife in the West that we are experiencing right now, all speech is protected. I do have to add that burning and looting is not and should be dealt with. And yes, it is my opinion that cancel culture should, in and on itself, be canceled, and canceled hard. There's no reason for anyone to lose their job or humiliated for their actual ideas or political beliefs, or beliefs in general. And yes, some people in general may have poor taste or unpopular opinions. So be it. They are protected by law under freedom of speech and expression. See what I did there? I just exercised my right to free speech. No populace or government should infringe upon that, but given how Kotaku is, they kind of remind me of siblings growing up. Your older sibling can beat the crap out of you, just as long as no one else does it. Kotaku being the big brother, and they can censor everybody, or promote censorship, just as long as the Chinese don't. Now with this article, was Kotaku turning over a new leaf, changing their ways, so to speak? Sadly no. Just a few days after their original article about this was published, this article pops up. Call of Duty trailer recklessly promotes far-right conspiracy theory. theory, and by throwing the label conspiracy theory on it, obviously they want to discredit it, which is really hard to do. Yuri Bezmenov was a real person, a KGB defector, who was explaining a plan on how the West could be, or is, being infiltrated.
Ideological subversion is the slow process which we call either ideological subversion or active measures.
That is not conspiracy. That is exactly what he said. He was expressing his ideas and thoughts with the evidence that he had. My question is, who is Ian Walker? And what or who gave him the right to say this was a conspiracy or not? Not all, but some things labeled conspiracy have been found to be true later on. Did Mr. Walker here, author of this article, actually know Yuri Bezmenov? Did he interview him? Is he even old enough to talk about such things? My advice is to him is to do better research, and also really look at the trailer he is criticizing, and the world around him. Know your history, friend, not just what was spoon-fed to you. And I do have to say I do find this a little bit funny that this is on an editorial, meaning it is opinion and conjecture. So the fact that Ian Walker is writing about a so-called conspiracy makes his article here a conspiracy theory in itself. How's that for irony? Now, is Yuri Bezmenov's speech used in the trailer actually true? I don't know, but given the world around us today, and certain movements popping up, especially ones by self-professed, well-trained Marxists,
is that we actually do have an ideological frame. Myself and Alicia in particular are trained organizers. We are trained Marxists.
It does make a person wonder and think. Upper Echelon Gamers did an outstanding job making a video about this that I'll link in the description below, and is worthy of a second glance. The only thing I'll really say about that is, while they are self-professed, well-trained Marxists, I would actually say that they are a liberal version of fascism, at least by a loose definition of the word. But that's just my thoughts. So anyway, needless to say, Kotaku is still the same as it always was, and is. No new leaves to turn here, but it does make a great toilet paper alternative. And even though I have toilet paper now, I think I'll make a special trip to the commode to put this article to some use while I contemplate Ian Walker's life journey. So what do you guys think? Besides the world's losing its marbles, what do you think about Activision Blizzard bowing for a second time to China? Or Ian Walker and his editorial, talking about things that I would bet money he actually knows nothing about, just labeling things and using the catchphrases of today? Tell me in those comments right on down below. I read all of them. I'm always interested in hearing others' thoughts, even if they're different from mine. No censorship here. And to those that are interested, I did finally fix my temperature problem on my Asus A15. I'll be covering that in an upcoming video, so stay tuned. And don't forget to like and subscribe for future Axial GT content. Your support is much appreciated. And links to my social media and Discord are also in the description. But until next time, my friends, I'm out of here. You all have a good one.